Hey, how you doing? This is another Leo reading. So, let's get on with it, shall we? What's going on with Leos? Can you please check your sun, moon, rising signs, Venus signs, any kind of star signs you have in your birth chart? Also, um, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell. But definitely check the star signs in your birth chart just to see what resonates with you in regards to your personal circumstances and situations, as all readings are designed to give you information related to your star sign. So it doesn't necessarily have to be your main star sign, your sun sign. It could be your rising sign. It could be your moon sign. It could be your Mercury sign. So just check those out and see what's going to resonate with you. So let's get on with this. Says, I'm not coming to you. I'm sorry. I feel like you swore to tell me nothing but the truth in my head. I shouldn't be picking on you. I shouldn't be talking to you. I shouldn't be laughing at you, making fun of you. I shouldn't be judging you, and I shouldn't be using anyone else to take care of your mindset. I shouldn't be playing with your mind about it either. I like females that are absolutely slim and built in a certain way. I may not know how to say it, but I like girls with Brazilian butt lifts. I like females that like good things in their mind. Maybe even things that I don't know how to give you, but you probably could get somewhere and then show me. I may not help you, but I feel like I like girls that can help me. I'm not going to be good for you. And I realize I know that I'm not going to be perfect in my mind to help you with whatever you want. Your children, your family, everything that you've said that you wanted, I wouldn't be good enough. So I sold my soul to your mindset and thought I could, but I realized I just can't do it. I'm never going to see you again. Okay? So this could be someone that you may have been talking to, you may have been getting to know. If not, this is you. This is you telling the person this, okay? It does say that you realize you haven't done good to someone and you may not have built them up on a good outcome system. It says you may be jogging on your mind about things that you don't want to hear. You play your mind a lot about things that you want to ignore. You could be judging your work right now or even staying in your mind about it. And you may be seeing something that's going on so deeply in your mindset about your passage to life itself and where it's going in the near future. You may not be judging someone, but someone could be judging you and is recommending you move on from the path that you're on. You could be stuck in a well or in a box, liking it in your mindset, but in reality, it's not going anywhere. It could be helping you in another realm, but not in this one. You need to see where it's going in the next week or two before you get stuck and can't move out from it. It says judgment is upon you, and it says you will witness things in your mind. You may even see someone telling you off or even telling you how to do things. You may be seeing yourself in a bad way. You may possibly see yourself in a good way, but may not want to see yourself in a bad way. So you've got to move on from nasty mental health problems that could come to you in the next week or two. And if you see something that's coming into your mental health, you're going to have problems overall. It says try to tidy your mind from things that you thought that you could have. It says you know that you wanted something and you want it in the wrong way. You may want it in the opposite way that you thought you wanted it. It says you want to tidy your mind so badly you don't even know which way to go or where to start. You may need to seek attention from someone, but possibly it's the wrong person. They may have a good nature or a bad nature, but you need to see which way your mindset is going. Have you got a good or bad nature? It says time has come for you to figure things out. You may not see them again, so you may not speak about it, but you could be walking away. It says she knows she will walk away in your opinion. Ideally, if you're speaking to a female or wanting to know a female, you be getting on her nerves. It says you've been trying to want to get on her nerves in some ways too. I know this. And it says the person that you speak to regularly wants to know that you know that too, because you speak to them nearly every day. Could be a family member, a parent. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It could be a friend or someone that you work around. But it also says you have someone commanding you to have bad news in your head. You won't want to know you've got good news with this woman. It says some of you guys are giving yourself to the wrong female Obviously, you may not want to have good news at all. You may have to try yourself in another bad way if you go down the wrong road again. You could communicate killing her mindset or hurting her, or maybe even seeing that she's got good news elsewhere. It says you may need to know something and can't understand it. You've got to give up from the stress that she's giving you, ideally, because narcissism could be at play. It says your mental health tells you off for things. You may see another way out of a situation, but you can't give it time yet. It says you don't know which way to go, but at the same time, you will find yourself there in the next few weeks to a month. And it says, don't give up. You've got to move on because someone doesn't realize it, but you're in a bad mood. Or is it that they know, but they don't want to talk to you about it? It says, I see you for who you are. I don't want to talk about it because I may be wrong, or maybe I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. However, I don't want to know that I'm stuck in a bad way, or in a bad mood, or in the wrong field. I don't want to be in your kind of systematic value where you see stuff that are bad or rude or negative. I'm not staying where I don't fit in or belong. Okay? So that could be your feelings or their feelings. It says, I know I could kick down the door. I want to know where you live. I won't want to know how to get to you, but I want to know where you live. It says, evil man wants to come to you and speak to you about spitting on your parade, kicking you down and harming you, following you and trolling you, constantly working on beating you down and bruising you, harming you and kicking off in his mindset about how he could behave to hurt you. He's very, very out of order. It says he knows he shouldn't be like that. He could really recommend a bad mood to give you. It says he wonders what kind of lifestyle he would live if he was to be with you. He would be very mad at you all the time, constantly harming you and hurting you. He doesn't know where to go with his mindset right now. At this time, he may given some time to see. He's got loser mentality written all over his face. And he doesn't know how to try his energy more than this. He may be giving you bad mood, and very bad mood at that. He has to understand he's moving on from problems. You may be getting some help in the next week or two. It says cancers are going to give you good news in the next week or two to help you move past something. Maybe even Cancerian doesn't know it themselves, but they see something that they could offer you or even take from you. As you may not know how to take advantage of a situation, you may need a Cancerian's help or someone that could be open minded to help offer you something that you need. You may need to go on a date with this person or see that they're there for you before you can get involved with them in physical finances. It says you have been deceptive in their minds and possibly know it too. You do know that you have to go on a date with me, she says, or maybe even get to know me a little bit before I even open my mind to communicating what it is that I could give to you. Why would you know that you need to speak to her in that way? It says, this man says, I know what it is in my brain. I'm communicating two languages, one with angels and one with devils. It says some of you know that you're on a good path or on a bad path, or speaking about your devilish mindset versus your good mindset. It says some of you have an idea that you're leaning towards the devil more than the angels that you've put inside yourself. It says you know that you've got good news with your angels, but you don't want to use them for everything. You feel like the bad side feels like it's going to help you pass the situation in your mind. It will never give you good news. It doesn't actually give you good news in your mind. You may go down a well and still never come out. You'll see yourself back around again to the same judgment, the same portion of victory you thought you had when it was only Satan telling you off and giving you bad news all over again. You may see yourself in a bad way. Communication failure is something that you could say that you've had. Something went wrong, or maybe you could even press your mind on what problems you've had when you needed to. It says you know that you needed to press down on something, maybe even tell someone off. Some of you guys may know that you're going to communicate this to the police or the authorities, pressing charges on something or someone. It says you may know that nothing is set in stone, but portion something could have happened to you or happened to someone around you. You may not witness bad news. You've got to move on past the situation too. Some of you guys are dealing with something that you don't want to hear or listen to. You may walk away from. It says you have to see yourself back in square one or in the cold or left out. It says some of you guys feel like you're under the weather and don't have good news. You could have a flu or a cold. Mind you, You could be coming out of one and hearing that you've got better news than before. Some of you guys are coming out of a bad situation in your mind. Some of you guys are seeing blessings come in the next week or two. Hiding and playing mind games for some of you guys is going to be easier said than done. None of you are going in a bad way altogether, but some are coming out of a bad way and some are going in a bad way. Which way are you going, Leo? Because some of you are going left and some of you are going right. No wonder you're in a good way right now. You've seen the devil spirit inside of you. It says no longer needing you to press down on your mindset. Leave the devil spirit alone, is what the nice minded female might tell you. She may not speak to you, but she's a very good looking woman. It could be a black female. She could be a Scorpio. It does say for some of you guys, you are dealing with someone that's going to help you out of a problem, but you have to see blessings first. If not, then you'll be stuck in that problem forever. You may not see it, but you're going to have bad news. It says warning signs are there for you to see blessings come. And only when you see blessings, you're going to move past it. I said, I see this, but I don't know how I can help anyone because they all want to go down the same mindset, the same road. You are all going to suffer down that road. It says, I know because I keep trying to get out of it. And every time I try, I witness people going down it. It's very hard to get help to come out the situation when everybody is going into the same direction and doesn't know how to get out of it and plays their mind back in it. It says, do you know you'll be stuck in it too? Mind you, if you are one of those people that like going down the good road and want to go down the good road and can't see yourself out of a bad way, it's because people are heavily going in the wrong direction down the bad road and dragging you back into that road because they can't support you in the good road that you would like to be in because they punish themselves and put you down the wrong road. It does say they keep communicating this all the time. Never mind, it says, I want to speak to you. It says you may feel sad for someone or may want to make them feel sad. However, it doesn't say that you've got good news trying to help them with something. It says you may not see a good outcome. Maybe you need to try your mindset on me again. I like the way you look. I like the way your hair looks. Sometimes I want to say nice things and I can't see anything to notice. I realize I'm in a bad way. It says you all feel like you have communicated something with someone that feels like you're in a bad way. Someone doesn't really want you to have fun either. They could communicate this to the cows come home. You could be the one telling yourself, I want to see someone in a good way. I want to hear that I've got good news. I don't want to hear that I've got bad news. So something could have happened to me. I play along with this. It says one or two of you will play along with it and say that something happened to you after you've been excusing your mind from someone, playing them like a fiddle, maybe even seeing that someone is doing this to you. It says maybe even looking at it from two perspectives is better than nothing, because sometimes you need to understand you could be doing it to them and they could be doing it to you. So which way is it going for you, Leo? It says only with you and Cancerian, I need to understand why I'm looking at you like a Cancer. Mind you, I wouldn't want to know that I'm pressing down on you to become something I wouldn't want to know that you are. You're never going to be that person's problem, Lisa. Ideally, you always have to see yourself in a good news, Leo. So it says it's not going to be easy. When Leo wants to come out of a problem, it says you all see yourself in the same way, trying to come out but can't. Is it that you keep following the devil, though? Because bad news is here right now on the universe showing you that Satan's world is being taken care of by the devil. It says you will never know what's going on with the Scorpio right now. Helping themselves away from the devil is hard, but it's trusted that they're trying so much to the point they will see better news in the end. They will help you all. It says Cancerians are seeing this as well. Libras are seeing this too, but also they realize they've got to move in with Libra. Going down the wrong road is what Libra would say to Scorpio. However, Scorpio says you will understand when I come out on the other side. I'm not going to see you in a bad way. I won't want to know that everyone is in a bad way. So make sure that you walk on the same path that I'm on then. Because I'm a Leo. It says, Leo, you do know that you're trying to show Scorpio that they should go down the wrong road. Maybe even see themselves in trouble with the law. This is not everything that you want, but some of you will see that. And it says some of you, not all of you. But some of you have to understand you need to stretch your arm back towards the Scorpio, Cancerian, Pisces, Libra, or Virgo, as they all want to know the truth about life and how to lead it in the righteous way, not the wrong way. So you've got to go back in another direction. Karma with you all. It says some of you do know that other star signs will also be at play. It says you've got to want to know that you are not on the wrong road. These star signs are mostly going to show themselves the right road, even when they're not on the right road. It says even when you see a good one, you've got to pay attention to who is the good and who is not. It says all of these star signs have good and bad, hence why you've got to seek which one is good and which one is bad. But many thanks to you all, you will see that you're still put on the same path as a Libra, Scorpio, Virgo, Pisces, Cancer, and many times over, Leo, you'll understand why when you get there. Just go to one of them and seek help. You will pass your tests in the next week or two. Just find what your spirit needs towards one of them, and you'll give yourself better news. Laugh if you've seen one of them and you can't get it right now, because the universe is trying to warn you to still stay there and hold on. They're going to give you good news in a year, 1 week more, and you'll see blessings. Just try to punish yourself a little bit though and stay, and you'll see good news come 1 week, one laughing year, one day. It says do not regret it, because you all are feeling like I'm going to regret this. It says deceptive motives are at play. You may want to see someone harmed. Try to harm yourself before you harm them, because they will end up harming you before you get harmed in your own mind, because you want them harmed, but they will end up harming you trying to harm them. So try to harm yourself first, or move on from whatever it is you have in your mind to play them. Cut it out, laugh at it, make fun of it, and try to see that it's not going to work out. Or maybe even just see you was wrong telling yourself it was going to work out. Try to move on from the problem. It says none of you are getting away with this. All of you are going to go through some bad times. It says demons are at play. Mind you, you may see bad news overall with your weight, or even your mindset overall with other things you've got going on. You might even see demons come out of the woodworks telling you off, or giving you bad news about your life or things that you're doing personally to get by. You may see bad things, so just warn yourself to stop playing with your mindset and move on. Stop trying to keep it there and pushing your luck. It says stop pushing your luck with too many things that you are trying to get from someone or something, and use your common sense to get it yourself, or try to work at it in the right way instead of pushing your luck, Leo. Okay? Try to stop pushing your luck, it says, too much, as it is stuck on you wanting to know you could do so. Leave it to God, it says. It's not going to help you. It says demonology is starting to kick in. You will start seeing jinns. Some of you guys don't even know what jinns is. It says you will all see jinns. You're going to start seeing spiritual war come to you in the air. It says it's going to be like that for a while. Thin veils are open for you to see jinns. It says you're all going to start seeing these jinns in the next week or two. Laugh if Scorpio doesn't know how to communicate this, because they don't want to know that they're speaking about it, but you're all going to see jinns and spirits, or darkness, or hear voices, or even start hearing mind games come to your head. You are being led out of that direction with people like Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Libra, and Virgo, but you wouldn't know that though. It says your jinn spirit is coming out of your head too. You will be haunting others, or they're going to be haunting you. It says you don't believe it right now, but it's going to happen in a week or two. Spirit is trying to guide you away from these problems. God knows why. You don't know how stuck you are in a rut. However, you went down the rabbit hole too deep to try and harm people, and now you're getting the same in return. Run out the rabbit hole and start again. Be nicer to individuals and stop playing the mind game. Stop being in the legacy of being a bitch or a nasty, mind warring, negative loser, jerk, or whatever you want to call it, and start being better to people and individuals, and you'll see blessings come in the next week. Try it now so that you can get good news for the new year. Okay. It says no more time to look at the bad past. you're all going to go downhill. It says liberty takers like you won't want to know that I have good news. Hence why, Leo, you keep insulting someone. Now you want to see them in a good way, do you? Because you know what? They're never going to show you a bad way. They just don't want to show you a good way on them. Like you're going to liberty take on them. You're never going to have anything from them that you can liberty take on without feeling like you get to know them in a proper way and sort your mindset out in a blessed way to have good news instead of working on war with them. You know, you keep looking at people in the way that you should see yourself. It says stop liberty taking on people. You all may do things that you are going to do for your mindsets to have good news and take liberty on other people. It says you war with people way too much. It says you drink and eat way too much. You may even take alcohol and drugs way too much, but you don't actually look at yourselves. You may need to look at yourselves instead of playing the mind game on somebody else's parade. It says you need to stop looking at everybody else with your negative minds and scrutinizing them, and justice can come to you in a better way. You are all fraudulent in your head how you treat people. It says many times over, Leo has to be told off sometimes. And it says no one knows why they're going to be told off more this year than next year. Because at the end of the year, you're going to see a problem and you'll never know who's going to help you out of that problem. It says Scorpio is not going to do it if you're with them because you've already bashed them way too much. And even Libra seeing that they can't come to you really that much because they're warning Scorpio. Do you know this one is a narcissist? And it does say that Libra is trying to warn Scorpio, this one's a narcissist. Don't go there. Scorpio is like, well, I don't want to go there. And I'm hoping that I could stay away. And it does say even with attitudes of narcissistic people in the Libra realm, is telling Sagittarius to fuck off. It says all of you guys need to go home, back to where you came from. Narcissistic men are going to go back to where they came from. Go back to where you came from. It says all of you don't need to come to the people that are supporting themselves with good news because you've been warned you're going to have bad news. It says Libra is going to have sex with someone next year, but who's it going to be? Enemies are going to come out of Libra. Only when they start seeing that they're going to have good news with somebody, that's when they're going to start speaking to everyone else about it. Even Libra knows they have to balance the scales with good news and bad news. But warning signs are there for Scorpios to do the same. It says, I understand that. It's not a problem, says Scorpio, but I'm not helping Leo take advantage of me. They seem to want to take advantage of me too much. And it says, anytime I wonder, is there going to be anyone that gives me good news? Libra always tries to jump shot in my head that they want to give me good news, then bad news, then good news, then bad news. But however, it says, I know that I don't want to hear bad news all the time. I get too much bad news. As a Scorpio, I understand I get too much bad news. So when Scorpio is saying this and Libra doesn't want to listen, Scorpio has to now jump Libra and tell them off. Because Libra don't understand what the fuck they're doing with any time given share of who should be good and bad and balance things out. They don't know nothing about it. They just pray to God that it could work out in that way because they go back and forth. The truth is, Scorpio is right. You can't give yourself any time to wonder is good news coming or bad news when people dish it out in such dangerous ways. It comes and it goes so sporadically you would never know which way to go to time the situation. You just have to feel how often it's coming and how less it's coming to understand. Scorpio knows this too well. It says, I don't want to know that I'm getting bad news constantly. I realize sometimes it could happen. It's not that it doesn't happen. It's just it happens too often with Scorpios. Even me, I'm Virgo. I see that all the time. I dish it out sometimes too. So I'm not going to target you, Scorpio, this year or next year, in fact. But I realize Libra knows not to target you too. And that's why Scorpio says if Libra stops targeting me, Scorpio could feel better around the Leo because Leo is getting pressure from the Libras to get bad news. And they warn themselves, stop speaking about this. But you all have to look into your minds to find out why Libra is giving you so much bad news. They all seem to be giving you bad news and you have to work on walking away from it. Karma could come from giving yourself time to walk away as well. So you have to look into blessing yourself in a karmic value system that's going to help you over time. Working on some type of plan or ritual to get yourself out of the problem may not help at all, but it could help a little bit if you try to practice for a long time. So give yourself good news and walk away from problems. It says no one else is going to come and see you in a blessed way. You have to walk away from problems all the time. Give yourself good news today and help yourself out of problems. See you in the next time you come back to find out how it's going to work out for you. It says Leos have got to go and sort out their minds, or else demons are going to come to them again. It says no wonder you're in a problem, Leo. Try to get yourself out of these problems and stop looking for demons. Stop looking for the spiritual realm where there's demons. You'll see that in the next reading. Or you could move away from it because there's demons in your legacy right now. And you need to walk away from them. It says the veil is pretty thin for you to see demons and walking into the shadows of demons. Maybe even seeing real ghosts and goblins. Some of you are so close to seeing it and already seeing it or not seeing it. So move on. Try to warn yourself to walk away. Unless you really love that stuff and you're mad enough to take on the challenge, it says walk away for the rest of you. Good day. So it seems like that's what it's going to be for you, Leos. People seem to want to know that you've got good news if you can try and help yourself. But if you can't, you've got to move on from it. So try to warn yourself not to give yourself any bad news and you'll see blessings come. Okay? So I'm going to possibly leave it there if there's nothing else in your reading. It does say that you've got good news overall. It says nothing set in stone for Leos. You got to see everything work out in a spiritual realm. Everything's going to work out overall if you try. Just keep trying. You're going to see blessings. And don't worry about who's who and what's what. Just go and find yourself some spiritual people that are going to help you out of the problem. And try to tidy your mind on who's who about spirituality. Don't give them a hard time. Give them good news that you could listen to them. Take them on board and play in your mind instead of playing in their mind. Don't lead them astray or harm them or hurt them. Try to take their information seriously and use them in a way that you're not using them to be nasty, but use them for good news to come into your life and be there for them. A genuine connection, not a diluted one of good news because you're trying to make it bad. Yeah, not one that you're trying to just use and abuse, or you're trying to make it suffer. You know, make sure you've got good give and take in the relationship as well. Make sure it's genuine. Look into the word genuine. Practice the word genuine. Live in the word genuine. Allow it to repercussion in your soul for having good news come back to you. Allow it to see good news for your family and your atmosphere. And good things shall prosper for you. And stop picking on other people with their mindsets. It says God knows that you will see good news. After all, God does not sleep. God is awake all the time. So you're going to see good news, but only when you do the work to get it. So stop reaping what you sow with bad news. After all, you've been planting negative seeds that have grown into bad spirits or bad demons, bad energy, bad everything. And it's karma that's coming to you. So look into good news in your mindset and you'll see blessings overall in the next week. Okay? Speak to you in your next reading now. Ciao. Bye.